Welcome aboard this pre-departure guide from SCU International non-stop to your new study experience, where the temperature is amazing and the cultural experience is whatever you choose. Sit back, relax, fasten your seatbelt and focus your attention to the screen in a comfortable upright position. In case of an emergency, simply press pause and follow the links to SCU International. All information is for your convenience and safety, and if we can be of any more assistance, please contact an SCU International representative. Again, welcome aboard the SCU International Pre-Departure Guide. Hi, I'm Simon, a second-year media student right here at Southern Cross University, and I went on exchange to America, and this is my story. On exchange, I did things I never thought I would ever do. I went to Hawaii and I learnt to surf. I went to Vancouver and Whistler and I hired a car and I drove down the west coast of America from Seattle to Vegas, and then I hiked in the giant forest. I trekked through Yosemite and Socoa National Parks and I saw the Grand Canyon. I made some amazing friends, had lots of laughs and created truckloads of memories. Study in America was awesome. I sat classes on screenwriting and news presenting and a whole lot more. I even went to a sports game for the first time ever. And everything about the international study experience was more than I could ever have expected, and I just wish that I could go back and experience it all again. My exchange experience really helped me grow as a person. I got to meet new people, I got to live in a different culture, and experience new and exciting things. I would highly recommend anyone that's thinking of going on exchange to just do it. It's awesome. I went to Northern Arizona University in America, and I studied media, and I got to grow this awesome moustache. So Southern Cross University really helps you get where you need to go, and it really is all about you. G'day, my name is Simon. Welcome to Southern Cross University's pre-departure video. Congratulations on being accepted to participate in an overseas study experience. This is a wonderful opportunity to change your life, broaden your connections, and add an international experience to your qualifications. This amazing opportunity will enhance your study at Southern Cross while you complete part of your degree at an overseas partner university, combining study with travel and adding an international experience to your qualifications, enabling you to immerse yourself in a different culture and gain invaluable international contacts. I'll be taking you through some of the things that you need to know before your international study experience. This video is in 3 parts, each with a small multiple choice quiz at the end, and some of the topics we'll be going over are 1. The nitty-gritty, where we will look at passports and visas, enrolment, flights and loans, and packing and accommodation. And part 2, health and safety, here we will cover insurance, medication, smart traveller and DFAT registration. And part 3, culture adjustments, here we'll find out about dealing with culture shock, the LGBTIQ community questions, and being an SCU ambassador. So let's get started. The nitty-gritty. Did you know that passports need to be valid for at least 6 months after your return date, as some countries won't allow you entry if it's near its expiry? For all international study experiences, you will need a current passport and student visa. Passport applications are available from the local post office. They cost over $200 and are valid for 10 years. Don't leave this to the last minute, as it usually takes 2 to 3 weeks from the time you apply until you receive your passport. There's no need to apply for your passport until your acceptance at the overseas institution has been confirmed. It is, however, a good idea to ensure that you have a full certified copy of your birth certificate, which is required for your passport application. You will also need 4 colour passport size photographs. It is your responsibility to check what visas you may require. Do you need more than one if you're travelling before or after your study? Or will you need a work visa? Visas for America and Spain require an interview at the consulate in Sydney. Appointments need to be made in advance, and often there is a wait of several weeks. Visas cannot be applied for until you have all documentation, including your acceptance letter from your overseas institution and a medical history for proof of vaccinations. It is a good idea and your responsibility to contact embassies and consulates to determine if a visa is required and to confirm application details. Although it might be tempting, we advise that you do not book flights before receiving acceptance from your partner university and your visas. This can be risky and not advisable to do so until you have everything all sorted out. Again, please don't leave this to the last minute, as processing times can vary, so give yourself plenty of time. We know that many of you go overseas to travel and have an in-depth experience of the local culture, but don't forget that your study should be your number one priority. Many of you will have academic issues that come up, so be sure to attend to them promptly. While you are overseas, you will remain enrolled at SCU and continue to accumulate a HECS help debt or pay tuition fees to SCU. Both units overseas and at SCU must be approved by your course coordinator. It is your responsibility to ensure that your enrolment is complete prior to departure at both your host institution and SCU. This should be done before the start of Southern Cross's semester to avoid a fail for the subjects you're enrolled in. All fees payable in your absence must be paid by their due date. And if there is a change in your overseas enrolment, either before you depart or while you are overseas, you will need to contact your student advice team and submit a new credit transfer form with your course coordinator's reapproval. Please keep in mind that some classes may be full or cancelled completely. It is better to be approved for more than you require.
Take it from me, 2 of my units were already full and I had to resubmit a credit transfer form. My advice would be to get approved for as many units as you can.
Finance. Converting money and dealing with different currencies can be confusing, so we suggest you take travel cards, traveller's checks, debit and credit cards, as these are available from most financial institutions and often the easiest way.
I found travel and credit cards the easiest way to deal with my money while I was overseas, and I got a better exchange rate.
For some SCU students, Centrelink benefits may be available while you study abroad. You will need to apply for these in person at Centrelink no earlier than 13 weeks beforehand, but no later than 6 weeks prior to your departure. The OS Help Loan will assist in offsetting the cost of your international experience and can be applied for twice. You need to be aware that this is a loan and it will be added to your help debt.
There's a 6-month wait between each time you can apply for the OS Help Loan, and it's great. It just gets added to your HECS debt.
Now, packing and accommodation. When it comes to packing, pack the essentials, but pack light. And check what the climate is going to be like at your destination. Check airline regulations, as luggage size and weight allowances can vary between airlines.
I flew with Virgin and United to the States, and I didn't realise that I had to check in my baggage at Hawaii. I wish I double checked before I left.
Your hand luggage should include things like your ticket with evidence of return, your host university's letter of acceptance, and your passport. Receipts for all medications and prescriptions, and it's a good idea to have your medication close by in your hand luggage and available when you may need it. Now, don't forget about your accommodation in your host country. This is your responsibility. It is a good idea to check with your host university before you depart as to what will best suit you. On-campus or off-campus living, or have you considered a host family? And be sure to ask when check-in is. Keep in mind, on-campus living is in high demand at most universities, and your accommodation might not be available right away. If so, you will need to make other arrangements until your situation becomes more permanent.
I had to stay in a hostel for 4 days until my accommodation was available. It wasn't so bad because I did make some great new friends, but then I got to move into on-campus living, which was amazing, and I highly recommend it to everybody.
It is important to keep regular contact with Southern Cross and be sure to check your emails, as this is how we will correspond with you. Now, just a few quick questions before we look at part 2.